All right, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now, ever since the announcement was made that Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira were going to face off at UFC 291 in the co-main event, I've been over the moon excited. And considering there's no fights this week, I thought it would be a good time to do this video. I've been watching back some old fights. Primarily, both of their fights with Israel Adesanya, which will be the only common opponent that they share. I've noticed a few things that each of them did that they had success with against Israel Adesanya. Now, they were very similar, but they do them in a very different way. In my opinion, Jan Blachowicz is one of the most underrated strikers in the entirety of the UFC. Okay, like there's a lot of people, including their common opponent Israel Adesanya, who believe that Jan Blachowicz's only path to success will be to take Alex Pereira down and beat him up on the ground. I, for one, don't think so, and I would imagine some of you don't think so either. I think that Jan Blachowicz could easily, at least for the first 3 rounds, make this a competitive fight on the feet. I went back and watched their fights with their common opponent, Geez. For some reason, that's tricky to say, and I noticed a few things that each of them did to have success in those fights, and while they have different styles, they used very similar tactics and or attacks to have success against Israel Adesanya. In my opinion, the first 3 rounds of Jan Blachowicz and Israel Adesanya, Jan Blachowicz won at least 2 of those rounds. Round 2, you could kind of squint and give it to Israel Adesanya, but my point is that those 3 rounds were exclusively striking. There was maybe one takedown that Israel got right back up from. Jan Blachowicz had tons of success against Izzy on the feet, and most people don't think of him for some reason when they're talking about the highest level strikers that are in the UFC, but in my opinion, he is absolutely up there with Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, despite not having a traditional kickboxing background. I know he did some Muay Thai before the UFC, but still, I want to go over some of those points, some of the things that they had success with, and talk about those. I'm also going to show you guys some of the things that Israel Adesanya had success against both of them in, that they could potentially use these attacks or setups against one another. So before we get into it, please, if you like the content, if you want to help support, just subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. We are at the 500 mark, so thank you to everybody who has subscribed. Still, about 60% of you watching haven't, and it would be very helpful because we could reach the 1,000 subscriber mark, which would then allow me to apply for monetization. So thank you very much for doing that. I greatly appreciate it. So I've got 4 things here. Now, there was obviously more than that, but there's 4 main things that they both used against Israel Adesanya to have success in the striking ranges. And before Israel Adesanya fans come in here and tell me that Alex Pereira was knocked out last time, I am well aware of that, but he still had moments of success even in that fight. But I'm primarily going to be looking at the first fight between them, as well as the fight with Jan Blachowicz and Israel Adesanya. So first, they established their leg kicks very early on. And this is something that caused a lot of problems for Israel Adesanya because usually he's the one using that tactic. And when it's against a shorter or smaller opponent, he has extreme levels of success. He basically won the Yoel Romero fight on leg kicks. He leg kicked Jared Cannonier to death. He leg kicks almost every single opponent. And when an opponent is able to actually establish that on him, it seems to cause him problems. Now, the second thing that they both utilized is not allowing Israel Adesanya to get his leg kicks off. They both checked a ton of kicks in many different ways, at the very least getting their leg up. While you're watching live, it's kind of tricky to tell whether or not something has been checked because the leg will come up seemingly at the same time a kick lands. But when you slow it down, you can clearly see who's lifting their leg up first and where Israel Adesanya's kicks are actually landing. And the majority of his leg kicks against both of these opponents were checked. Third, both of these guys went to the body a lot and tried not to headhunt a whole lot. Alex Pereira might get painted as a bit of a headhunter considering he has so many knockouts on his record, but when you look at the significant strike stats in his fight with Israel Adesanya the first time, in MMA obviously, the targets were they were almost evenly mixed up. Leg, body, head. Perfectly, almost like literally 33%, almost every single one. Third, both guys, I already said that. And fourth, not overly engaging with the hand fighting that Israel Adesanya does. He likes to stick that hand out there and get it in your face. And a lot of guys will try to move it away because it's either obstructing their vision or they feel that they can't get within punching range when that hand is sticking out. Something that Jan and Alex Pereira both did was not really engage in that, and it kind of caused problems for Israel Adesanya. So I want to first go over the Jan Blachowicz fight in a few moments in each round, and then we'll go over the Alex Pereira fight. Hopefully I can make this video not an hour long. We're already 5 minutes in, but regardless, dude, let's get right into it. And we will get right to it. So right away, it'll be in a few seconds. First leg kick Adesanya throws is checked by Jan Blachowicz. So this sets the tone a little bit here. And we'll get to that in a second. Hold on. This was an odd timing. I couldn't really. He misses the first one, no problem. He's finding his range. We're just 5 seconds in. But right away, something else he keeps doing. Whenever Adesanya switches stances, at least for the first couple rounds, Jan Blachowicz usually switches stances as soon as Israel Adesanya does, giving him different looks. And he ends up utilizing that later on in the fight, but we'll get to that later. Look at that. Legs turned in, legs lifted up. Boom, right on the shin. First kick immediately. We're 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds into the fight, I guess. And first leg kick is checked, which is good stuff from Jan Blachowicz. It kind of sets the tone, like, hey, you're not just going to get free shots off on my leg to win rounds, which is typically how Israel Adesanya likes to do things. Now we're going to skip ahead to 4:30 on the clock. And this is something that I think Alex Pereira will be able to use against Jan Blachowicz. Something that became kind of a meme during this fight was that Joe Rogan just absolutely like guzzling over Israel Adesanya's feints, okay? And I know that it's memey, but the thing is, the reason why it became a meme is because Israel Adesanya never capitalized on these feints. He was able to draw out a lot of reactions from Jan Blachowicz, and it was Joe Rogan was acting as if these were significant strikes. The problem is that he didn't utilize the reactions he was getting. One, because Jan Blachowicz is very defensively responsible with his reactions. He's not giving you a whole lot. And two, the things that he was giving him are not typically weapons that Israel Adesanya uses. Unless you get a guy like Robert Whittaker who's rushing in their first fight, Israel Adesanya is not going to sit down on a left hook and try to knock you out. He's much more tricky, a little more sophisticated than that. Whereas a guy like Alex Pereira, who we saw utilize somebody over parrying, right, with the Sean Strickland fight to land a left hook, this is something that I could potentially see him using. So look at this. Every time Israel Adesanya throws out either a jab or a straight punch, and to be fair to Jan Blachowicz, he uses the correct hand. You don't want to parry with your lead. Look at that. Right, these are the kind of reactions Joe Rogan was talking about. He just barely feints out a jab, and Jan Blachowicz, we'll get to it later why he likes to parry so much. He is very good at it. But this is something that I could potentially see Alex Pereira utilizing against him, because as I said, we've seen in the Sean Strickland fight, when somebody overpaws and parries, you can come over the top of the left hook. Alex Pereira absolutely wants to sit down on a big left hook, okay? Now we're going to skip ahead 10 seconds. And we get another big reaction again, which I know this is memey, guys, but if Israel Adesanya was taking advantage of these, they wouldn't be so memey, right? Look at that. Just lifts up a front kick. But this is what I'm talking about. He's defensively responsible. So first of all, he leans his head back to get out of the way. His right hand remains up. His left hand comes down to parry the front kick. The only problem is he left his left leg out to be attacked. This happens again a little later on. I'm not going to show it, but the next time Adesanya flashes this kick, Jan Blachowicz gets that leg up. He doesn't want to leave it out there again, and he notices that he does that. So it's a good read by Jan Blachowicz to not do that again. We're going to skip ahead to 3 minutes, 6 seconds on the clock. We'll skip. Yep. Another check. Shin in, leg up. Israel Adesanya is forced to kick down on the heel, lower shin of the leg. Jan Blachowicz is very good at doing this, and he doesn't give a shit if you check his kicks, okay? He doesn't fucking care. His shins are rock hard. Somebody in my comments pointed out this is hands of stone versus shins of stone. That is very true, man. Very, very true. But anyways, we are going to get to now another moment. Hold on 1 second. This is something that I think they did both utilize this against Israel Adesanya. This is going to be something that I think they're actually going to use against one another, and I'll show you why later, but this is just a first example of this. So Jan kind of freezes Adesanya here. Look at that. He goes to do the head movement, little faint jab. Goes to the body instead. Israel Adesanya is very open to the body. The reason is and both of these guys made this read. He is known for leaning back and all of the head movement that he does. But it's all like waist up, right? But you can't move your torso or your waist, your abdomen area the same way that you can move back with your head. So oftentimes, yeah, he's very hard to hit cleanly to the head. His body is there to be hit. It's just that none of the guys at middleweight either seem to grasp this, or they're not quite long enough to be able to hit the body but not hit the head. It's like they can't hit either. Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira both went to the body a ton, and it works. Okay, now we get Jan Blachowicz landing a little leg kick here on Adesanya coming up next, which again, he used. I know it doesn't look like much, just a little hop and a skip, but dude, his shins are rock hard. We saw the kind of welts he left on Dominic Reyes. We saw what he did to Magomed Ankalaev's legs. Every one he lands is damaging. Okay, we know that. So it is what it is, man. We're going to skip ahead now to 2:20 on the clock. Dude, Jan Blachowicz lands a leg kick here with the foot, which is something that we also saw Alex Pereira do. So he just pawed really hard with that backhand, man. This is something that Alex Pereira will use against you. He's going to have to either adjust that or, I don't know, man, because if Alex Pereira or his coaches watch this tape, they're going to see that, obviously, over and over and over again. He does it. Look at that. Lands on the glove, but you can see the impact it has. It kind of stuns Adesanya for a second. It looks like wobbles him there. He's right back to it. Nothing bad, but it's just something that I feel like Israel Adesanya isn't like, when people throw this shit against him, it's like he's not expecting it, because he is so long and he is so crafty and he is so elusive that when he gets somebody who's closer to his size and they are able to do the things that he does to other people, it kind of fucks with them a little bit. But we got another check kick here. He misses that one, but Adesanya tries to return with one, and it gets checked. Look at that. Right, you can barely see it because of where the camera's at, but it's right on the heel. So this is good shit from Jan Blachowicz, dude. Like, he is incredible with this. We're going to skip ahead to 1:40 on the clock. 1:39 works, I guess. Look at this. Jan Blachowicz, switch kick to the body. He drew out a reaction from Adesanya, who tried to do his patented head movement while not getting his abdomen out of the way. Jan Blachowicz's switch kicks are very weird. Whenever you see guys throw a switch kick, usually so you're supposed to take a step forward with your back leg and then swing your what was once lead leg, now back leg, forward, and that's how you get a bit more momentum and power on your lead leg kicks. But most guys, when they do it, do like a hop and a skip. They don't want to just step forward. They do like a hop and then they throw it because it's faster. You get some more momentum and things like this. Jan Blachowicz literally just steps through. Like, the timing on it is very weird, and they don't look like he winds up a whole lot, but they absolutely cause massive fucking welts on his opponents, and we have seen this plenty of times. Okay, but this, again, going to the body of Israel Adesanya seems to be paying off for him, because he's there to be hit to the body while his head and his shoulders and all that shit are leaning back, doing all this crazy shit. His abdomen, his center like mass, is staying still. You can't get the body out of the way the same way that you can get your head out of the same way. We're going to skip ahead now to right here. I guess I wanted to go to 1 minute on the clock. No problem. This is something that so Israel Adesanya uses a lot of body kicks against both of these gentlemen. They are both open to the bodies for different reasons than Israel Adesanya. One, Alex Pereira stands very straight up, and his legs are relatively close together. He's kind of heavy on the back leg. It's tricky for him to get out of the way of body kicks, and since he's so tall and straight up, and his hands are up here, he's got a lot of space in between here. This isn't a round kick, but the way that Adesanya throws his round kick is very effective against guys like this. He angles it up and inward as opposed to like parallel, and he's able to sneak it in there under the elbow. Jan Blachowicz, though, this was something that the Weasel used actually in his Who Really Won fight with Magomed Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz. He kept saying that because Jan Blachowicz is getting pushed back from these front kicks from Magomed Ankalaev, that they were causing a lot of damage. I think that this is Jan Blachowicz's way of rolling with a kick. You know what I mean? When guys roll with a punch, they go the direction that the punch is, or they go away from the punch, like the trajectory of the punch. They'll follow it so that when it hits them, they're taking some of it off of it. They're moving away. They're not just standing there and eating it whole. Jan Blachowicz kind of does this with front kicks to the body. He just allows it to push him back. You know what I mean? That kick isn't forcing this 220-pound man to go back 5 feet. He's letting it do that, in my opinion, to actually take damage off of it, not the reverse. But it is what it is. It's something he's very good at. He does it a lot now. Anyways. And this is another thing, dude. They both are able to catch Adesanya with left hooks, but it just takes some time, right? We're now 4 minutes into the first round, and this might be the first clean, like, headshot that Jan Blachowicz lands on him, okay? Touches him to the body so he knows he's got his range, and then leaps him with a left hook and clips him right across the chin before he's able to... Dude, credit to Israel Adesanya. This guy's got a fucking granite chin. I don't think that gets spoken about enough, man. The guy has an incredible chin. He leaves his hand up there for a good little while after that. He didn't like that one too much. But anyways, we're going to go now. Skip ahead 10 seconds. We get another big body kick coming up from Jan Blachowicz here, which is, again, something that they both had success with. Going to the body of Israel Adesanya, whether it's punches or kicks. Look at that. So he's got his head back, right? And he got his lead leg back as if thinking Jan Blachowicz is going to go for an inside leg kick. Torso still there to be hit. Big body kick, dude. That was a big one. Very nice stuff from Jan Blachowicz. Now we're going to skip ahead to the first 10 seconds of round number 2 and hope we don't get copyrighted, okay? It's the pawing, man. He's doing it a lot. That's what I wanted to show you guys. I know it's a meme, right? But he's continuously trying to do this. We saw it with Sean Strickland. A guy who's going to parry a lot against a guy with a fucking phenomenal left hook is going to need to figure something else out, because you can't overextend. He is, to be fair, he's pawing with the correct hand. You don't ever want to parry with your lead hand. You leave yourself exposed way too much there. But he's parrying a lot. He's not doing like a little touch. He's doing like a fucking full on down to the waist almost. And it's just something that I know Alex Pereira will use against him. So it's something that he's going to have to adjust, in my opinion. We're going to skip ahead to 4:23 on the clock. That was just a quick little thing. Right here, Izzy sneaks in a right body kick, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. He did this a lot against Alex Pereira, and they're both open. They're both open on the body. All three of them are. Look at that. You can see the blur of the foot is already under the elbow. Like, Jan Blachowicz was able to get his elbow down. He has his hands up to block the head kick in case it comes there. Adesanya tried multiple times in this fight to throw question mark kicks against him, so he's probably a little confused as to where it's going, and he just sneaks it in right liver side, perfect kick. Again, both of these guys are susceptible to the body, both Pereira and Blachowicz, and honestly, that seems to be Israel Adesanya's one area where his defense is not quite as good. He, again, has problems checking leg kicks as well against guys that are relatively the same length as him, but still, okay? We see Jan now with a very nice counter left hook. I don't know if I'll be able to get it in here, damn. His eyes are always wide open, dude. Guy's got incredible vision, and I think that I only threw in a couple of these moments. I don't think that Jan Blachowicz is going to be using these against Alex Pereira as much. I think that he was a little more confident in his ability to take a shot from Israel Adesanya as long as he saw it coming, right? We've talked about this before. Adesanya doesn't necessarily have traditional KO power, right? He has to hit you with some shit you don't see coming. The way he KO'd Pereira is he snuck him in with a right hand over top of the shoulder. Pereira didn't see it coming. I don't know that Jan Blachowicz is going to be willing to stand in the pocket and fucking trade hooks with Alex Pereira. But if he does, the guy's got incredible vision. And, you know, he's got a decent chin. I don't know that he's going to do that, though, man. It's probably not the best idea. So look at that, man. Look at the fucking reaction. This is the reason it became a meme. Not because Joe Rogan wouldn't shut the fuck up about it, but because Israel Adesanya didn't capitalize on any of these feints. These are massive reactions he's getting out of this guy. And for whatever reason, he just doesn't fucking do anything with it. And then we see Jan Blachowicz actually take advantage of this after, whereas Izzy just let that moment go, which is kind of strange, but... Right, good head movement by Jan Blachowicz too. Is very less subtle, right? Maybe a little less effective than Israel Adesanya's, but still very effective. And he doesn't ever want to get out of range, so he only moves away a little bit. Look at this counter left hook incoming, bop over the lead hand of Izzy and a little bit over the guard, and Israel Adesanya gets sent back a little bit. It's good stuff, man. I don't understand how people thought that Izzy won all 3 rounds. We see a tweet come up after the second round saying 2-0 Adesanya, and I thought, what the fuck is this guy watching? Honestly. We're going to skip ahead now 5 seconds. Again, at 4:02 to 4 minutes, we see, I don't know what we see. Apparently, I didn't leave a note for that. Jan Blachowicz gets hit to the shoulder, counter left hook over the top. Good shit by Jan Blachowicz. And that one touched Izzy. You could see at the end of each of these rounds, Israel Adesanya was pretty frustrated. And I'm not saying that because I don't like Izzy. I think he was having difficulty getting to Jan Blachowicz, and I think that he thought it was going to be a little bit easier, considering he typically has success against guys. Now that was, look at that, the way he ends those combinations with the body kick, dude. He did this with Dom Reyes. It's beautiful stuff. And this gets him again with the right hand. Like, he's touching Adesanya, man. He's piecing him up a little bit. It's honestly, I'd be frustrated right there. The way he just misdirects it enough. Look at how it lands. It just skims the cheek goes right over top of the shoulder, and then he lands a counter left of his own. Pops him with a jab. This is good shit from Jan Blachowicz, man. This is stuff he's going to be able to use against Alex Pereira. We're going to skip ahead now to 1:55 on the clock. Okay, let me just read the note here, one sec. Not the most ideal check, right? This is what, so sometimes Jan Blachowicz he's very good at getting his shin either turned in or out. Other times, when he hasn't noticed the kick coming, like, as quickly as he would like to, I guess, he still manages to get his leg up so that even if it lands, which, I mean, all check kicks are landing, right? But instead of it landing on the meat of your leg, you end up forcing him to, like, kick heel, right? And you don't want to kick a heel. You don't want to kick a knee. You don't want to go shin on shin, unless you've got shins like fucking Jan Blachowicz's, okay? But, oh, why won't it play? Look at that body over the top of the left hook. Good stuff from Jan Blachowicz. And then there's a leg kick that's going to come. He gets his leg up just in time. Look at that. Hasn't landed yet. Shin turned out. This is actually a perfect check. I don't know why I wrote that it's not the most ideal, but kicks the heel. This is what I'm talking about, though. If you're watching this in real time, it's hard to tell who got there, if Jan got his leg up first, or if Adesanya hit his leg so hard that it swung his leg up. When I see someone's leg do this when they get leg kick, I typically side with they probably got their leg up, because there's no leg kick that's so powerful it's going to send your leg fucking doing that. You know what I mean? It's good shit from Jan Blachowicz, and it's just a deterrent. You know what I mean? Especially against a guy who's fucking one of their main weapons of choice is a leg kick. It helps Adesanya find the range. It helps him fuck up your mobility. It helps him set up other shit. It's amazing stuff from Jan Blachowicz. Guy does not get enough credit for fucking how good he is, man, at striking. Starting at 107. Okay, we're going to see another rage finder with the body. Again, he's open to the body, man. Open to the body. Right to the chest. Jan Blachowicz does this very well. So does Alex Pereira. And then he comes over the top, and he gets him there, man. It's hard to see, but you can see Adesanya's head get snapped back a bit. And then we see Adesanya try to counter with a right hand. Doesn't happen. Goes to kind of a tie clinch situation, and Jan Blachowicz just fucking blows that open with his right hook counter of his own. This is good stuff, man, from Jan Blachowicz. Very good stuff. And you can see Izzy almost acknowledge that. He kind of purses his lips up a little bit. He's not used to taking this, man. This isn't something that typically happens in his fights. Fuck, again, I didn't write a goddamn time. Okay, look at this. Adesanya. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about, man. He may be reacting to feints a lot. He is extremely defensively responsible. He got not just his hands up, okay, where his elbows are blocking his body and his hands are blocking his head. He got his lead leg up as if he was checking a kick in case it was to the lower body. Adesanya's leg had nowhere to go. It ended up bouncing off fucking all three of those limbs. You know what I mean? Okay. We're going to see Adesanya throw two kicks here. We're going to see Jan Blachowicz check at least one of them. It's hard to tell on the first one. Look at that. Digs left hook to the body. He's there to be hit, man. There to be hit. Oh, fuck off, dude. I'm going to need to move myself. Okay. You can't see because of the camera angle, but we will see the next one absolutely get checked. But I think that one may have landed just because of the way Jan Blachowicz moved with it. Look at that, though. That one's checked. And that is not... That's a good check, man. Shin on shin, dude. It is... I mean, Jesus, dude. Israel Adesanya is not used to this shit. This isn't something that he usually has to deal with. He's usually the one doing this to guys. You know what I mean? But again, drawing out reactions with nothing to capitalize on. Jan Blachowicz backs him up with a big left hook. This is, I mean, Adesanya might be a little bit susceptible to left hooks, man. This seems to happen quite a bit. We're going to skip ahead now to the opening moments of round number 3. Again, big reactions. It seems to only come in the opening seconds, but look at that, dude. We saw this in the video that I did with video evidence with Robert Whittaker and Marvin Vettori. You can time parries. A guy like Alex Pereira is going to time a parry. A guy like Alex Pereira can throw his lead leg up without much of a switch very quickly. You know what I mean? You're leaving your entire fucking right side of your face wide open. Okay? Now I want to show you guys something I love very much. This is like a makeshift check, okay? Typically when you think of a check, you think, as I was talking about earlier, turn the leg in, turn the leg out, lift the leg up. Something that Jan Blachowicz does where he doesn't see it fast enough to do his typical defense. He does something here that I found to be fucking brilliant, but he drops his level, okay? Do you know how fucking smart this is? He wasn't able to pick it up. His stance is a little too wide. I would imagine if he tries to pick his leg up right now, he would fall. He wouldn't have the best balance. He's not really in a position that he can turn his fucking foot one way or the other. So instead, he just drops his level. What would hit calf now hits knee. Okay? It's really smart stuff from Jan Blachowicz. I love watching this guy fight. And then Jan uses that backhand parry of Adesanya's to finally do something. So at least somebody's capitalizing on some reads that they've made. But coming up in one. So look at that. Aaron Bronstetter, you fucking imbecile. He gave the first 2 rounds to Israel Adesanya. What the fuck? This idiot's Canadian too, man. Fuck off with that shit, dude. Straight up. Adesanya, look at that. Pause with his backhand. Jan Blachowicz, though, takes advantage of it. Left hook over the top. This is what I'm talking about, dude. If Jan Blachowicz is doing that against Alex Pereira, that left hook's there. Right? And Jan Blachowicz made the read before Israel Adesanya. Well, I don't think that he made the read before Izzy did. I think that way was what I said. Israel Adesanya is not one to really like sit down on a big left hook. That's not really his striking style. But we see how it can work. And Israel Adesanya is long, man. So, there's times when they look like they're a little too far away for a left hook to land. You can make it work, man. He's got many different variations of that left hook. We're going to skip ahead now to... Where am I? 433. Nick Baldwin is a fucking retard. Yep, true. Nick Baldwin is a retard. That was one of my notes. Now Jan is consistent. Okay. I don't know, man. Look at that, dude. Right there. That same punch that he just landed on Izzy for overextending with that backhand. He's wide open for a left hook, dude. It's strange that Izzy didn't take advantage of this. We're going to skip ahead to 4:15 on the clock. Oops. Fuck me, dude. 4:14. Okay. Adesanya gets up from a takedown. Beautiful shit. Jan has him kind of in like a rear naked choke-ish position. Adesanya's able to turn around, though. And again, props to his chin. Well, look at that, dude. This is shit we see Izzy landing on other guys. You're going to tell me Jan Blachowicz can't stand with fucking Alex Pereira? You're out of your mind, dude. Okay? Out of your mind. Great head kick there. Or knee. What the fuck? And then a left hook. To be fair, Izzy counters and gets him with one as well, so it's a good exchange there. We're going to skip ahead to 3:25. Israel Adesanya lands a very nice body kick coming up here. Seems to be an opening, as I said, for Jan Blachowicz. I think Alex Pereira will be able to take advantage of it, but vice versa too, man. Jan Blachowicz is going to be able to take advantage of the openings that he has to the body. And Izzy's got a lot of tell, man. Right? And he's still able to land those body kicks. I don't know whether that's a knock on him or if that's a compliment. He did a couple hops there, right? He's hopping and a skip, and you can see his lead leg back leg, starting to drag to throw this kick. And Jan Blachowicz thinks it's going to the head, and he sneaks it in right under the elbow. The angle, man, he does that so perfectly. It is fucking beautiful. It takes a little steam off of it. But if you can learn how to do it good enough, it doesn't really matter. Because kicks are kicks, man. You can take a little steam off of a kick. It'll still fuck your opponent up. Just because of the trajectory. And it's going more upwards as it is instead of parallel. But regardless, okay. Now we're going to skip ahead. Not here. This is what I think. This is where I think Jan Blachowicz will use grappling the most effective. I don't think he needs to take him down and grapple him. Okay, Jan Blachowicz will do this when Pereira's got him backed up against the fence, because here's something else. Jan Blachowicz was very willing to meet Izzy 50-50. They weren't really pushing each other back. One guy wasn't pressuring really more than they kind of took turns. Alex Pereira's going to push you back. So when Jan Blachowicz gets backed into a corner, or even up against the cage, whatever, even if he's not in a corner, just figure of speech, I think this is what he'll do to get out of that situation. And this will be the time I can see him using the most grappling. But just to kind of clinch up now, he's safe from at range shit, and then they end up separating a little after that. But you know what I mean? He's going to utilize this against a guy like Pereira, who can put your fucking lights out. So skip ahead to 2:30 on the clock. Jan looks visibly tired here, and this is why I think he ended up grappling in rounds 4 and 5, not because he wasn't having success on the feet, but because I think he knew the level of success he was having was going to start decreasing, and that Adesanya was probably still there too. And then you don't want to be on the feet with a guy like Adesanya when you're tired and he's not necessarily tired. I just wanted to show, like, his mouth's open, he's sweating pretty hard, his hands are starting to drop a little bit, you know what I mean? He's reacting still. It's just, yeah, either way, dude, we're going to skip ahead now to... There we go. Wait for that. 1:30 on the clock. Uh-oh. I just turned the volume on or turned it down? Turned it down. Good. Didn't want it on anyways, dude. Okay, 1:30. Another check. Look at that, dude. That is a perfect check. Perfect fucking check. Right to the knee. His legs twisted outside. Adesanya was not able to establish a massive part of his fucking game here, okay? So... Now, at 125, again with a body kick, right? Look at, pause with the right hand a bit, feints, jab, using that arm to post so he knows he's within range. Boom. Not the most sneaky, right? He's not the most sneaky. It still works. It still works. Adesanya doesn't know at this point if they're coming to the leg, if they're going to the head. He's throwing them everywhere, okay? It's beautiful shit. Another read that he makes. We're going to skip ahead now to 107 on the clock. Jan Blachowicz deserves more credit, man. This is fucking bullshit to me, dude. I don't know how people were scoring this in favor of Adesanya. Nice jab to the body, okay? I think it's that people just view Adesanya as a more, like, quote-unquote sophisticated striker, but, man, look at that parry, dude. This is why he paused, and then look at that shit, my guy. That is high-level shit, okay? Very high-level shit. Phenomenal. All right, here we are with the first Alex Pereira fight with Israel Adesanya in MMA, obviously. We're going to look at rounds 1, 2, and 5, because these are the rounds that I think Alex Pereira had the most success in, and I know that he ultimately lost round 1 because he got hurt at the end of it, but up until that point, he was absolutely winning that round. And I just wanted to point out one thing at the beginning here. Look at that beta cuck, dude. Just to the left. I know there's John Morgan there, the guy above him. We're in late 2022. We're almost in 2023. And this fucking cuck still has a mask on. Okay, dude? Like, enough of that shit. What the fuck is that? We're going to skip ahead now to 456. And this is... Immediately he lands a little leg kick. Again, isn't a big one, like nothing crazy, right? But it's just, again, setting the pace a little bit. He does this crazy flying Travis Brown fucking kick or whatever. Fabricio Verdum, versus Travis Brown, not Travis Brown. I think he did try to utilize it against somebody eventually, but little poking leg kick. And again, Izzy talks about this too. Alex Pereira's leg kicks are very fucking sneaky. So notice his arm, his right arm is still up. Okay, he stands pretty square, usually. When he throws a kick, I don't know if anybody will understand this reference, but like when you're hunting and a deer or something starts to turn a little bit, you call it quartering, right? He is like eighthing. He barely turns because he's already squared. His arms are already up. And when he throws his kick, he just little twist to the hip. So but by virtue of his hips twisting, his upper torso kind of just a little bit, barely. His hand, he doesn't do the whole fucking swinging mode, like, whereas Adesanya does. So I feel like this is why, one of the reasons why Adesanya's kicks get checked a lot by other high-level strikers. And I think that the reason why he has a problem checking kicks against these longer opponents that are like more in line with his attributes, his physical attributes, are because he stands really wide, and it's harder to pick your leg up and maneuver it when you're a wider stance, right? If you're straight up and you can quickly lean on one foot or the other, it's much easy to manipulate your other foot. Whereas Adesanya stands, look at how wide he is, right? You can't really turn, like, it's tricky to lift your leg up at that point. But either way, dude, Adesanya gets one free leg kick off in the first 10 seconds, and then after that, dude, it is basically like fucking no more, right? So he lands a little one there, no problem. Okay, we're gonna skip ahead to 4:27 on the clock. 4:29 works. Again, not ideal, but no matter what, these guys always get their fucking legs up, man. He parries that jab a little bit. He paused way less, just a little one like that, right? Look, you can see the twisting of his leg. You can see the lifting up of it. It wasn't necessarily a clean land, but it wasn't a perfect check by any stretch. So just either way, makes it so that even if he can't get an ideal check, he is still going to fucking check it. This is why, another reason why I think his leg kicks are so tricky. It's going to land in a few seconds here. Do you notice how he's hopping? Right? He's got a rhythm. He's not hopping now, but he fucking just was. But watch this. So he starts to hop, hop, hop. And then right when you'd think he's going to hop again, he throws the kick. So it's like he's breaking his own rhythm in half in order to throw off his opponent. So he'll be hopping, hopping, hop, like that. Like he literally like breaks his own beat, his own rhythm right in half to land his leg kicks, and it works very, very, very well. We're going to skip ahead just 5 seconds here. He checks another kick. Again, these guys both had very good success doing this. Look at that. That was a good check. Good check. Or very early on also. And then Pereira lands a good outside leg kick of his own coming up here, which is just, this seems to be a theme. If you can out leg kick or like win the battle of the fucking legs in general against Israel Adesanya, it seems that you can have success. Okay, so he's gonna land a kick here, coming up. There we go, little just with the toes, but still lands. Izzy did not check that one. Again, look how wide he is, dude. Look at the space in between Israel Adesanya's legs and the space in between Alex Pereira's, and they're roughly the same height. Right now, Israel Adesanya looks he's at least a couple inches shorter than him, right? That's virtue of standing, the way that he's standing. It's harder to maneuver your one leg when you're like that, because when you're wider, your weight is more evenly distributed, right? Whereas if Alex Pereira, you can tell he's leaning back a little bit, so his lead leg, he can manipulate in whichever way he fucking wants to. And then we see another check kick coming up here in just a second. Look at that, another check. Shin on shin. Not ideal. Not ideal for Israel Adesanya there. Not at all. Okay. And we're going to skip ahead a few seconds here. This is what I mean, dude. Both these guys figure this shit out, right? Alex Pereira is not the headhunter everybody thinks he is. He is very sophisticated. He has a very high fight IQ. Look at, now he's pulling a bit of a Dom Reyes here. I'm going to critique this a little bit. He is within punching range, right? And he's throwing a body kick. I don't like that. It's not the best, but both of his arms are out. He's misdirected the punch of Israel Adesanya a little bit. He probably knows that he's not in the range where he's going to get totally fucking cracked. And so he steps in, throws a kick. Look, he angles his kicks too, but this, I've talked about this in so many videos, and now I'm going to actually get to showcase it. Look at the way his leg is, right? Most guys, when they throw body kicks, are completely parallel. Alex Pereira starts off parallel, and then right at the last second, he angles it in so that when his toes are pointing straight up and he can pull his leg right out without having his balance compromised at all. It's fucking cool, man. I like it. And then we get another checked kick coming up here. I hope we can see it because of my fucking ugly mug in the bottom corner here. But checked. Again, dude. He's checking all of his fucking kicks. And then we get a good shot from Izzy here. Izzy lands a nice jab to the body, but Pereira immediately countering, and look at how much fucking weight he's got on that front leg, dude. Good luck moving that out of the way. That buckled his leg a little bit, man. This is why I didn't like the narrative that Pereira landed one perfect, like, perennial nerve kick that fucked Izzy up for the rest of the fight. That was not the case. Pereira was fucking butchering his legs from start to finish. And we get another hard leg kick coming up here. Oh, not a hard leg kick. What am I fucking doing? Hey. Head kick. Just glances off the cheek. But both of these guys had success in that. They didn't really try to go back to it and try to adjust their distance. But they were both able to kind of smack him with the toes a little bit. I don't know why the fuck I have it written down as a leg kick, but that's okay, dude. Now, in 2 seconds, we get a good leg kick here from Pereira, but then Izzy actually is able to counter with a left jab, so good on him. Pereira leaves himself a little open when he's thrown, so look at that. Bops his head back pretty good, but he still did land the leg, so at that point, it's kind of like a risk versus reward situation, whether or not he wants to land it. And then right here we go. Look how low it looks like it's going leg, but Pereira knows it's going to the body. He tries to block it, doesn't matter. He sneaks it in there regardless. Beautiful shit from Izzy. But again, both these guys are open to the body, and they both have very good body kicks and body punches. I think that this is going to be something that they both utilize against one another. I think Jan Blachowicz is going to be using that left leg switch kick to the body consistently in this fight, as he did against Dominic Reyes and other opponents. And then we get a sneaky little leg kick again from Pereira. Look at how square he is right now, right? And the way his arms are. And then we'll look at the way he is when he fucking throws his kick. I mean, he doesn't move a whole lot. His upper body stays relatively fucking still. So if you're staring at eyes chest area trying to figure out what he's doing and you are not paying attention to his hips or his legs, it's something that he's able to sneak in on these guys. And Izzy, who is a very high level striker, is still having these snuck in on him. We're going to skip ahead here. I think 302 is when it happens. Another leg kick from Pereira. Izzy starts to counter, though, nicely with a right hand. Pops him with the jab. No problem. Look, again, look at him. His upper body is barely fucking moving at all. You can see that Israel, well, I don't know. I can see. I don't know if you guys can. You're probably watching on a cell phone. Israel Adesanya's eyes are fucking right there to there. Like, meeting him, like, he's eyeing him up, like, face to face. That's the direction Izzy's eyes appear to be going. So he can't see this because Pereira's barely even moving his upper body. Kick. Izzy counters with a nice right hand. Good stuff from Israel Adesanya. This seems to be a theme too. Pereira leaves himself a little bit open when he's throwing kicks. The difference, I think, will be is that Jan Blachowicz does not have the same reach that Israel Adesanya does, but he is more willing to, like, leap and throw looping shit, so he might still be able to tag Alex Pereira. We're going to skip ahead here to 2:38 on the clock. No, we're not. We're going to skip to 2:41. You can tell that Izzy did not like this next. Fuck me, dude. My bad. My words are not working. This check. Look at the way Izzy pulls his leg back. The way that you can't see it, unfortunately, because of the camera angle, but you can look at that. That did not look like he liked that very much. That was not a landed leg kick look, okay? We'll just go past that now. 2:28 on the clock. Well, fuck me, dude. Ooh. Start right here. Low calf kick on Izzy. And it's very quick and very sneaky. Like, keep in mind we're in half fucking speed here. You know what I mean? He's so squared. His arms are out. Because as opposed to the way Jan Blachowicz parries with he's trying to get you with the hand, right? Pereira kind of just throws his arms out there, and your arm at some point, or your fist, will eventually hit his arm, and it misdirects it just enough. Most of the time, obviously. Here we go. Sneaky. Look at that, man. This time he actually even swung his arms, and Izzy still couldn't see it coming. But again, look how fucking wide he is, man. He checked it a little bit, but it was still got through. Still landed on the meat of the calf down low there, which is not ideal. We're going to skip ahead now to 2:02. Good enough. We get another check kick. No, we don't. Because we're not there yet. We're at 2:05, my bad. He lands that one. Nice inside high leg kick with the toes. All right, little poking one there. Checked again. Okay, now we're going to skip ahead to 1:38 on the clock. Just gets his leg up in time here. That's what I'm talking. Oh, dude. That landed more than it appeared to when watching it live, eh? But again, Izzy's got a good chin, and he's really good at rolling with shit, so... Checked. Look at, you can see they have not clashed yet. Their legs have not clashed. Pereira lifted his leg up and twisted it outwards slightly. He still managed to get it. Even if it's not the most ideal, the most perfectly timed check, he still manages to get that shit checked. And then in just a few seconds here, we see Israel Adesanya with another nice body kick, which is what I'm saying, man. Both these guys are open, and both these guys have really good body kicks. I have a feeling they're going to be utilizing them against one another because Izzy's kind of exposed this hole. Look at his arms come out, thinking he's going to misdirect a punch or a kick. Boom. tucks it in right under the elbow. Really nice body kick. Pereira did not like that one, not even a little bit. We're going to skip ahead now to 120. We get a body kick from Alex Pereira, which again just shows you they're both capable, right? All three of these gentlemen appear to be open to the body, and I think that they're going to use these moments against Adesanya to kind of make reads on one another. At least I would if I was watching tape. Nice body kick by Pereira, but again, what I'm talking about, man, the way he twists his legs so he can pull it out, because he knows guys are going to want to take him down, man. He knows this. I'm going to try and pause it. Looks like it's going to be a regular parallel fucking round kick. Lands. His foot is already angled up by the time it actually lands. Look at straight, as if he had just thrown a front kick. So he can just pull it back with ease. Not off balance even a little bit. We're going to skip ahead to 47 seconds on the clock. 48, fuck it. Another body kick from Pereira. Again, while Izzy leans his head way back, he cannot get his body out of the way. Both these guys made the same read, and I think they're going to make the read on one another. He's able to get his head back. If this was thrown up top, it would have skimmed right across his lips, but he was able to get it right in the armpit there of Israel Adesanya. Skip ahead 10 seconds. Pereira not pawing. Okay. Oh. Big left. No, fuck. We missed it. Let's see. Why did I have 37 seconds? Right there. He doesn't paw the same way Jan Blachowicz does. He's not going down trying to swat it away. He just sticks his hands out to try to misdirect it. Whereas Jan Blachowicz is very much open to a left hook when he's doing what he's doing. And it works. Pereira's pretty effective with it from time to time. Now we're going to get all the way, we're going to skip to round number 2 immediately. In the first, we get a somewhat check kick right away. Just again showing you that, you know, Izzy's usually able to land pretty cleanly on these guys. Look at that check kick. Boom. Right away. 3 seconds into the round. Not allowing Israel Adesanya to get off the shit he normally gets off. And I would imagine that's very frustrating for a guy that usually has his way with opponents, like, quite easily, especially using these tactics. We get another check kick, this time to the inside leg, okay? Checked, right? Crazy shit, man. Just non-stop, dude. 13 seconds, 4:13 on the clock. We're going to get another check kick here. Both these guys are fucking phenomenal at checking kicks, and it's going to be really interesting to see who's able to implement their leg kicks, right? Pereira checks very well. He's very sneaky with his leg kicks. Jan Blachowicz checks very well and is very fucking powerful and has very hard bones with his leg kicks, so he doesn't really mind getting checked. So it's going to be, I'm very curious to see if Alex Pereira's shins are conditioned enough to deal with shins like Jan Blachowicz. I know he's fought tons of really high-level kickboxers. I feel like Jan Blachowicz is built fucking different, okay? We got another check kick coming up here. Just 2 seconds. Checked every single leg kick this round, man. Right? And the vast majority of the leg kicks throughout the fight are completely fucking checked. And then we get Pereira throwing his first leg kick of the round coming up here in just a second. Look at the way his fucking upper body is, man. Moves a little bit. Adesanya has not reacted yet. His foot is up and he looks like he's a little twisted. He barely gets a check there, but it just landed with the toes anyways. But you can just tell, like, Pereira's much better at checking kicks. You know what I mean? I know Israel won the second fight. I don't fucking care. Alex Pereira is better at checking kicks. It just is what it is, man. Again, 357, much like Jan. Small point, does not engage with the hand fighting. I didn't even show Jan Blachowicz not doing that, but Israel Adesanya frustrates guys a lot with the way that he paws out there with his lead hands, or because he's so fucking long, right? Like, he'll just stick it out there like that, right? Just pulls it away. Whereas some guys get frustrated. They try to swat it away. They try to smack it away. They try to do this shit. Alex Pereira just resets because Izzy uses that a lot to trap the wrist and then attack with something over the top. Like, it's something that he uses very, very well. And it's something that Pereira was able to make this read probably just from watching Adesanya's MMA fights, because in kickboxing, that's not really something you can do. You can kind of do it, but not nearly to the same level of effectiveness as you can in an MMA fight where your fingers are exposed and available to you. Now, Adesanya just barely able to pull his leg out of the way here. Let's see. Now, still landed a little bit, but now we're going to jump ahead to 3 minutes on the clock. 3:02 will work. This is high-level stuff, man. Again, we're going to the body, but I think there's a purpose behind this one without it being trying to hurt you to the body. But this is shit that I feel like these guys don't get enough credit for, man. Look at this. That was a fucking hard jab. First of all, my voice just went away. To the chest neck area of Israel Adesanya, but it's much more than that. He knows Israel Adesanya is up against the cage. He knows all he can do is side to side, right? He can't lean back at this point in time because the cage is there. So he knows that he's either got to fucking move to the right or move to the left. I think that Pereira I think he was anticipating movement, right, from Israel Adesanya. Izzy just happened to go to the left as opposed to going to the right. Because if Izzy had dipped his head a little bit to the right, that fucking chest neck shot would have ended up landing on the chin. And it's just something that, like, it just looks like a jab to the fucking chest, but that's not all it is. Like, he's doing more than that. He's trying to anticipate Adesanya's movement. He knows Adesanya moves a lot from the top portion of his body. We're going to skip ahead to 2 minutes, 7 seconds on the clock. 2:08 will work. Time's a good leg kick here. And we can't fully see it because of the camera, which is annoying. Why are you showing two of the best leg kickers in the entire of the UFC and you're fucking cutting off the bottom half of their legs, you idiots. Stupid fucking cameraman, Jesus. He lands it there, you could see. It was not overly hard. It was not low. It was just right above the knee. Very, very good stuff from Alex Pereira. I've already talked about the arms. Izzy's got a crazy fucking chin. 145 will jump too. Look at this. He's not even fully extended, right? Not even fully extended. So noted, right? I'm within range. I didn't even need to fully extend my jab to touch him. This bopped him right on the fucking nose, and my arm still has an angle to it. Now, what does he do after that? He follows it up, and this is what I'm talking about. Adesanya's chin is fucking incredible, dude. Right around the guard. That looks like it lands perfectly on the fucking temple. Adesanya eats it, throws back, Pereira slips out of the way. Good shit, man. Look at this. Hard jab. See, this is something that both Jan and Alex Pereira did against Israel Adesanya. They didn't headhunt unless they had Izzy in this situation. Because then they know, as I said earlier, with the jab to the chest, he can only move to side. He can't go back from you, which is his main mode of defense, is his movement. So they really only unloaded and invested a lot in the head when Israel Adesanya was backed up against the fence, and that just shows really high fight IQ. And both of them did it, so you know what I mean, man. Again, bop some that just misses there. Jesus, man. We're gonna skip ahead to 126, I guess. Jesus, dude. Glancing little leg kick, but it's just like, man, he seems to be so sneaky with it. And when you're watching it in slow motion, you can see the tells. But imagine this in real time where he's already squared up and he's barely even any more squared now. Now, his arm came down in this one, so it's not the best example. But it just is what it is, man. And then again, we see checked. And then very hard to hit clean to the head. So what is... Oh. Very hard. So instead, I'm going to go to your body. Because you can't move that the same way you can move your fucking head. It's just good reads all around by these guys, okay? Now we're going to go to this head kick here at 32 seconds. This head kick is something else, man. And it's not just the head kick. It's what he's... The purpose behind it, right? Not that he's trying to hurt Israel, but it's something that allows him to get into a better position than he was in. So look at this very lazy leg kick. His arms came down completely here. There was some tell on this one, right? Izzy got out of the way of it. And he swings around fully. Now he's a little off balance in a southpaw position, which Alex Pereira does not typically like to be in. He likes to be in his orthodox position. He's not very much a stance switcher the way that Israel Adesanya is. But watch how he recovers from this. Bop. Very fucking quickly. His feet were close together, which is not ideal for a combat ready position, and he still manages to get that leg up there with fucking no switch, no nothing, and he gets him across the face with it. Just with the toes again, but this is close. And it seems like Izzy has a hard time with these a little bit against guys that are relatively close in length to him, because Pereira was able to get this on him a couple times with the toes. Jan Blachowicz was able to get this a couple times on him with the toes as well. So it was just really nice stuff to see him. It was like a recover from the lazy leg kick, and it's with offense, and it's just nice to see because he did leave himself exposed there for a moment. We're going to skip ahead to first 2 seconds of round number 5. Round number 5, yep. First 2 seconds, another checked leg kick, okay? This is like, I do believe Israel Adesanya's legs were compromised, but I don't like that he didn't give him the credit that he deserves, because he fucking butchered these legs in every which way possible. It was not one perfect perennial nerve kick. It was countless leg kicks, countless checks, and it just happened non-fucking stop, okay? And we're going to skip ahead, 4:52 on the clock. This is what I'm talking about. They both noticed this same thing, right? He's up against the fence. He can't move as well, but we're going to dig to the body because he moves his head so well. It's just shit that it just shows Jan Blachowicz is close to the level of these guys, right? These are reads that Alex Pereira, 2-division, multiple-time Glory World Kickboxing Champion, a guy who has finished Israel Adesanya in kickboxing, like highest level striker. And Jan Blachowicz is able to make the same reads. You know what I mean? So it's just really good shit, man. I don't think that Jan Blachowicz gets enough credit, and it actually fucking irritates me. But either way, dude, this is a big check coming up here, and this is the beginning of the end for Israel Adesanya. We know this moment. We know it very well. Big check right to the fucking knee. Sends him backwards because his leg landed awkwardly. He does a little somersault out of it. Good shit by him, but still. Okay, and then lands a right hand. Now he almost lands that fucking knee, dude. Body range finders a little bit. He's not trying to headhunt overly too much. We see him here go to the body. Right? He knows he's within range now. He knows he's only got what is that? Maybe 10 inches to the cage there. So it's not really somewhere. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Now he's like up against it, essentially. Tries to go to the head, digs to look at Izzy's face, man. He did not like that one. They both made this read. They're both going to use this against one another. Or at least they fucking should, okay? That was a big body shot. And with guys that are elusive to the head, their body will be there to hit. That just is what it is. We're going to skip ahead now. Couple seconds here. We get another check kick. Checked. We got another one coming up here soon. See, he's not reacting nearly the same amount as Jan Blachowicz is, but if Izzy was pawing out that jab as much as he was there, Jan Blachowicz wouldn't know what the fuck to do. His arm would be going back and forth like a fucking windshield wiper, dude. Checked. Oh, dude, so many checks. But yeah, man. Now we're going to skip ahead to 3:13 on the clock. And we know what this moment is. See, he only headhunts once he knows not only is his movement compromised, he's hurt, and he's up against the fence. It's just high fight IQ. Look at that. Look at that. God damn, boy. He hit him good. Now we know where this goes from here, so we're just going to stop there because whatever. But I think I've shown my narrative pretty well that, you know, both these guys were able to do many good things against Israel Adesanya. They were able to do very similar things against Israel Adesanya, and I think that they're going to be able to use those things against one another. I think that Izzy exposed holes in their games, and I think that they both exposed holes in Izzy's games. I don't think that Jan Blachowicz needs to take this fight to the ground in order to have success or to be competitive. I think that probably for the first 3, maybe 2 rounds, it'll be a very competitive fight on the feet, and I think that he will only resort to takedowns if he feels that he is going to be in danger, because I feel as though he knows that he is a very high-level striker, whereas a lot of people just don't give him the fucking credit that he deserves. But either way, dude, this one took forever. It's way too long. I apologize for that. Like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.